What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks bringing you some battles here in the Ultra Holiday Cup, and I apologize, the next couple of upcoming videos will be a little bit shorter and a little bit lower in video quality. Katie and I are visiting family right now and the internet upload speed is really spotty, so in order for me to be able to upload videos somewhat daily, the file sizes need to be much smaller. So apologize for that, but in today's video I'm going to be showcasing a team running VIRIZION in the lead, and I feel like this Pokemon is so solid in the Ultra Holiday Cup right now. Having access to Double Kick and Sacred Sword. I prefer running Stone Edge as the secondary charge move for nice coverage. I'm pairing this with a Shadow Snorlax and then Aurorus, which is a very top meta pick in the back as well. Now, I will say I think this team will function better if you have an XL Dubwool for Ultra League. I just do not have one built, so I'm running Shadow Snorlax here. I still have superpower to be able to hit for super effective damage against the other normal types and the rock and ice types. So let's jump right into these battles here. VIRIZION against Lantern, this is obviously very favorable, and not having Leaf Blade is still totally okay because you wall off all the energy that Lantern could throw. Out comes a Dugong. This is looking kind of like a Great League team, right? But no, these are in fact Pokemon that have been XL'd, XL Lantern and XL Dugong. I actually got a shield from that Dugong before swapping to my Aurorus here. Obviously, Water Pulse does hit for super effective damage. They barely survived this Meteor Beam. Now, this is a total misplay on my part. This is very clearly an Icy Wind if I was keeping track of the energy, but I was very distracted when I was doing these battles, so definitely make a misplay there. There was no reason to shield that at all. Going to be able to reach another Meteor Beam, and I can easily let this go. But they might have something else that was weak to Aurorus in the back. We will see. Yes, they do. It's an Charmalola Ninetales, and this is where Stone Edge comes in really clutch. Going to be able to hit for super effective damage. They actually ended up no shielding that, and that did so much damage. My Snorlax can easily farm this all the way down now and have a bunch of energy stored for their Lantern. Out comes Lantern. I'm going to queue up this first Body Slam here. And the thought process with this team is VIRIZION is essentially walled by a Giratina Altered, and so Snorlax and Aurorus both have play against that. I will say that this team is like ABA weak to a Pidgeot in the lead, so if you encounter a Pidgeot in the lead, that's going to be difficult to play out of. But again, you still have Stone Edge to be able to hit for super effective damage, but you might have to sack the lead in that scenario, whereas if you're running Dubwool instead of Snorlax, it's much more well-rounded. I just unfortunately do not have a Dubwool for Ultra League. I'm able to align my Aurorus against this Charizard, and this is such a dominant matchup. There was also an Obstagoon in the lead, so very clearly aligned in our favor here. I will shield up the Dragon Claw. And this matchup is so dominant, you can even just go straight for the Meteor Beam on the first move and then go straight for Weather Balls if they end up shielding. But you can match shields and guarantee that you still have alignment here and that Aurorus will be able to win the secondary matchup. Most likely they're going to bring in the Obstagoon and farm me down. That's totally fine. When shields are down, VIRIZION can really hit things for a lot of damage, and VIRIZION is fairly bulky. Out comes the Alola Ninetales. I'm going to throw the Stone Edge. We saw how much damage this did in the previous game. It did a lot, and now Superpower from a Shadow Snorlax is also going to be extremely threatening to that Obstagoon. So I just want to overfarm this matchup to where I can KO this Alola Ninetales with a Body Slam and then reach a Superpower against the Obstagoon. Able to get there, and this is definitely going to one-shot the Obstagoon. Double super effective from a Shadow Snorlax. See you later, Obstagoon, and we're able to take that game there. Good game. Okay, Aurorus in the lead. Even though you're getting hit for super effective damage with the Ice-type attacks, the Fighting-type damage from Double Kick and Sacred Sword just outpace a lot of the Ice-type charge moves. So out comes a Dragon Breath Giratina, and I was very slow to the swap here, pretty slow on the response. So they will most likely be able to grab a shield from me. But I know that energy from my Aurorus can really go places if they opt to bring in their own Aurorus again, which they most likely will. I can safely get to a Meteor Beam here, and they're going to try to commit to the farm down, but the Powder Snows just really hardly do any damage. Now, I do not want to throw my Weather Ball here because they could easily no-shield it and fully farm me down. I needed to commit to going for the energy here. I still have VIRIZION with a lot of loaded energy. I can tank one Weather Ball. And I'm going to queue up this Sacred Sword now. Double super effective fighting type damage here. They end up shielding it. And I can shield this and see what they're going to do. What is in the back here? Out comes a Charizard. I'm going for the Stone Edge. Double super effective. Gonna one-shot this Charizard. See you later. And now I have my Snorlax for their Aurorus. All I need to do is reach a superpower, and we'll be able to take this out. They do go for the Meteor Beam, but I'm going to be able to knock out this Aurorus. Very positive alignment the entire time, and this team really did its purpose there. And Articuno in the lead. Kind of interesting. The Ice-type damage is obviously hitting for super effective damage. Stone Edge is very threatening here. The Fighting-type damage is hitting for neutral. I do get a shield. I'm going to go straight into my Snorlax to catch this Icy Wind. And they respond with an Obstagoon. This is totally fine by me. Even though I'm debuffed here, Superpower is really going to hit for a lot of damage. I'm single debuffed, but I'm a Shadow Snorlax. The Superpower does get shielded. That is totally fine by me. I can overfarm a lot with my VIRIZION. If they come in with the Articuno, it's going to get one-shotted by the Stone Edge. So I'm more than willing to shield once in this matchup, overfarm a bunch, and then have energy for whatever they're going to come in with. So I farm a lot. The bottom half of my screen became unresponsive there. I wanted to throw this Sacred Sword much sooner, but that did not work out. What are they going to bring in? Out comes the Articuno. I saw a fast move go through, and now I'm going to queue up the Stone Edge, one-shot it, and in the back is an Ampharos. All I really need to do here is reach a Meteor Beam. They did not build up to Focus Blast energy, so I do not need to shield this. But if they were running Focus Blast and they successfully baited me, this would have been much closer. But we can farm this down and take that game there. Good game. Giratina in the lead, not good at all. Gonna go into, I'm actually staying in here and I'm gonna chip it with a Stone Edge, and the reason why is that if they opt to stay in against my Snorlax for some reason, I want to guarantee that I can win that matchup. But no, they go into their Obstagoon, makes sense. I can let this go through, and I really want to get some shields in this matchup because I know my VIRIZION can come in and farm up a bunch. Gonna throw this superpower here and see what they want to do. They let it go, and we now have switch advantage. But they have a Giratina that's going to get a huge energy advantage here. So this really has me thinking whatever they have in the back is also good against VIRIZION, because they did not need switch advantage. They just did not want their Obstagoon to see that VIRIZION. So my Aurorus might have to do a lot of work in the back here. Okay, I'm going to let this go through as well. They do go for the Ancient Power. But what is in the back? This is going to be tough. They let that go, and it's a Charizard. This is not good at all. I need to get shields down and reach a Stone Edge with my VIRIZION. But this is going to be tough, or I have to make a big catch. So I do successfully bait with that Weather Ball. I know I'm losing CMP to the Charizard here. Farming up a lot. I'm very close to a Meteor Beam here, which would one-shot. I'd get the final shield. Because my Powder Snow goes through, I know I'm at the Meteor Beam, but they're at back-to-back moves. I immediately queue up the swap, anticipating them forcing the CMP tie. And now they cannot farm me down before I'm going to be able to reach a Stone Edge here. They will not have enough energy to get back-to-back Dragon Claws, so we are able to take this game despite being hard countered in the lead and having a backline that was pretty tough there. We're able to take that. Good game. Charm, Alolan Ninetales in the lead, going to go straight into my Snorlax here. Kind of an awkward Pokemon to deal with because Charm will hit neutral on the Aurorus. but obviously Aurora's has Meteor Beam to hit for really strong, super effective damage. I will shield this up, and out comes a Credilli. VIRIZION totally walls off this energy, so I'm going to be able to get a huge farm off of this Credilli. They have to throw because otherwise they would have to shield up one of my moves, so I'm really glad that they throw the Grass Knot here. And I can farm this all the way down with VIRIZION. Man, those double kicks really chunk. And the nice thing about Alolan Ninetales is that this fighting type damage of double kick and Sacred Sword also hit for neutral. I'm going to go for the Sacred Sword and see what they want to do. They end up shielding that, so I'm going to go for another one and then most likely pivot out regardless of what they do. What do they have in the back here? I know this was just a Weather Ball, which is resisted. You can easily let that go through. Dragon Breath Giratina in the back, we're looking pretty good, but you need to land like 2 Weather Balls plus a lot of Powder Snow damage because Giratina is just so bulky. So going to be able to throw another one here. I wanted to rip off those charge moves as soon as possible before they potentially go for an Ancient Power boost. Now I no shield calling the Dragon Claw bait here. I would have to shield one regardless. So I will shield this up, be able to farm down, and then I'll be able to take out that Alolan Ninetales with all its energy I have. I throw 1 Powder Snow and then throw my move, because that's 2 turns against 3 turns for the fast move timing. And then I swap into my VIRIZION and going to be able to farm that down. One more battle here. Cofagrigus in the lead, really bad, but I'm going to go into my Snorlax. And they have a Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales. That is totally okay. Now, if I can flip Switch Advantage here, that doesn't necessarily help me that much because I don't have a hard counter to Cofagrigus. Now, there is a case to be made. I should have used my Aurorus as the safe swap here. But if there's like an Obstagoon in the back, that's really, really bad. Whereas Snorlax can at least get a shield there. Gonna shield this Weather Ball and be able to farm down, but that does not help me because Cofagrigus is just going to get a really big farm down as well. Could have went for Superpower here to give them less farm, a little bit less farm, because I'm only going to get to 1 move, and I think it does slightly more damage. I bring out my Aurorus, I'm down a shield, this is not looking great at all. I have to shield up the Shadow Ball. What do they have in the back? This Cofagrigus is doing so much work here. I'm anticipating them shielding one of these moves, so I go for a Weather Ball. But they let it go through. I have to throw another Weather Ball here to get rid of this thing. And what do they have in the back? They have a Galvantula in the back. So I'm going to throw this Weather Ball here. And they no-shield it. And going to throw another one. I'm trying to just chip this as low as possible. Now, Lunge only hits for neutral. But this Galvantula has so much energy now, unfortunately. I'm going to throw the Sacred Sword. This is resisted. I could have built up the Stone Edge and gone for a bait. That would have been a better play. That definitely would have been the better play. But I thought that I could just reach 3 Sacred Swords. Not going to be able to do that, and they're going to be able to take this game. Good game. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate the content. And I'll see you all in the next video.